Travis Wayne Goodsell. I'll do a video before I go to bed. This is on my mind, and if I try to go to bed, it'll still stick on my mind and bug me, and then it'll be too late, because then I'd have to come back out, turn on the lights, turn on the computer, then do the video. And if it takes a long time, then I'll have to stay up even later and mess up my sleep schedule and blah blah blah, and Gilder to frame for it. Princess Bride. Shout out to MD, who apparently is one of the few who check out my description links. Every once in a while I'll put out a gem for you, but you gotta click on them all. In the Bible, and in the Book of Mormon, because it's also in the Bible, there's lots of talk about agriculture and farming, those hard sciences, not those spiritualizing sciences of pseudoscience. Pseudoscience is not found in the scriptures, and yet some reason Mormons have created, I know where they got it from. They got it from evangelicals that have infiltrated the church with all the conversions over time. And it didn't help that the Methodists of Brigham Young likewise went back to it. But after 200 years, as last year, remember, that was supposed to be the 200th bicentennial year of the first vision. Mormons have grown up to be tares. Or the chaff. Definitely the goats. I can now declare, sorry ex-Mormons, you can no longer call Mormons sheep. And I could put it in the description to the lamb videos, which are hilarious in and of themselves. Then Mormons are officially goats. Because we are witnessing Mormons who know Joseph Smith prophesied about the destruction of America, destruction of the Constitution, and the need for Mormons to save it. Instead of saving it, Mormons are destroying it. They're aiding and abetting. We had House representatives from Utah, Mormon. I heard one of them today. Just a little kid. I guess you're able to be underage to serve in a house? I thought there was an age restriction. Dear God. He didn't come out right and say Democrats were evil, but he might as well have with his vote. And then apparently Curtis decided to betray America and Joseph Smith. He's also Mormon. At least Romney, confident now that Trump will be gone before the Senate hearing, is saying, oh yeah, I'll vote to impeach him. I'll convict him. Yeah, I'll do it right this time. I failed the first time. I was sort of wishy-washy. Yes on one, no on the other. But do you guys understand the whole wheat and tares thing? Of course Mormons do. Of course they do. And of course they want others to respect and leave them alone concerning their religion and the practice of their religion and their religious beliefs. They don't want critics like me pointing out all the faults. And yet when push comes to shove, I'm proof that Mormons are not religious tolerant. Mormons are anti-other religion. They are aggressively anti, violently anti, abusively anti. And that's been a concern that I've witnessed in the church, is parental abuses, not just from my own, spousal abuses, lots of domestic violence here in Utah. I'm kind of still concerned about the one guy who blew himself up with his kids out in Oregon after living here in Utah. There's a lot of concern about that situation because I heard people talk about it after the wife went missing. And still no body, but yet they really wanted to lock him up forever. And so he was forced to leave Utah. But I mean, everybody was saying, oh, I just felt wrong when he gave blessings and prayers. Seriously? Is that how you treat people who you think are weak in the faith? You just crush them until they are just ruined and lives shattered. And people just wouldn't leave them alone. And as one whose wife had abandoned me, she got the kids. It's technically a kidnapping, but because the law says, oh no, a wife can take the kids away from the husband, from the father, perfectly legal, not considered kidnapping, even though it's exactly the same. They just don't love the family. Screw the family. Any way that it can be broken up, we will allow it. But yeah, I know exactly what he could have been going through had he been innocent, if he's innocent. We'll never know now. Nobody's bothering to look for her body, and he's now blown up with his kids. But at least they got the dad for child porn. That makes destruction of a family worth it. The last days made it very clear for us that we would know evil from good. And we're seeing it. Evil is open with their evil now. In their manner of speech, in their Twitter posts, their thumbs down. I am kind of surprised. I guess I tricked Mormons into thinking this was something for them, but I didn't convince ex-Mormons that this is something you'd want to watch. Modern day Book of Mormon reading from 1 Nephi chapter 1 verse 2, which the colon got removed by YouTube. But I guess ex-Mormons are like, oh man, a stupid video promoting the Book of Mormon. I'm not going to read that. I'm going to watch. They didn't check that it was me. And so I'm only getting 11 Mormons, 4 of whom are shutting out the thumbs down to thumbs up ratio. So ex-Mormons, a tip for you: if you see a high number of thumbs down, you know it's a good video. So yeah, we've got Mormons who just don't care about my religious freedom. They are pissed. And they are exposing themselves in these latter days as the evil, those who follow Lucifer. And they're letting it be known, even though they won't publicly let it be known. Just to me, because I already know. That's why Mormons in the church want me dead. They don't care about John DeLynn, Jeremy Runnels, and all those other people. And they just say, yep, continue to spread the lies that we tricked you into believing. As we covered up those lies with other lies. Go right ahead. Now, that's the difference between me doing actual research and them reading a book that was critical of the church and believing whatever that said. Hearsay. I'm just horrified at how evil Mormons are. Talking about the Mormons and their neglect, the church, and their neglect for the poor. Do you not understand that's why Sodom was destroyed? Do you not understand that principle given in Ezekiel? That nations are destroyed when you neglect the poor. God doesn't care about gay people. That sounds kind of mean, and I don't want to start any blasphemous rumors. But no, he does not destroy a nation because of homosexuality. Yep, it's time for bed. I'm horrified. I grew up Mormon. I was obedient. And as a result of my obedience, I now know Joseph Smith was right. Book of Mormon is right. But Mormons want to continue to believe and spread the lies about the Book of Mormon and about Joseph Smith. There's a new David Whitmer movie, went straight to the theaters, called Witnesses. But it's apparently only about David Whitmer. That's at least how it was advertised. And of course they show all the apologetic excuses rather than the actual facts. Even what Joseph Smith says about the incidences. Like I told you in a video, I put out so many videos, I probably have to scroll down for 3 hours to find the one from the other day. But I told you that Mormons the church is creating a myth of Joseph Smith and the coming forth of the church in the Book of Mormon. They're not bothering to tell the truth anymore. They're now in a position where they think that they can just say whatever they want, and that will now be for the history books. And that movie is evidence of that. Because for the plates to be 50 pounds, they'd have to be copper. If they're copper, well, copper was used on the Cooper Smith shop by Smith Sr. And so, all ex-Mormons who've learned the facts that the Book of Mormon incorporates plagiarized material from a number of other books. Therefore, it isn't an actual copper plates buried in the ground, after the manner of the Knights Templar. being an Egyptian, like the Knights Templar. But I just, yeah, nobody even cares anymore. And so the church is just able to do whatever they want. Yeah, we'll just put out a video. Yeah, nobody will know. We'll just say it's true. Oh, say what is truth. Nobody cares for the truth. 'Tis the lies that people want to believe. Oh, God. You do know that's a Mormon hymn? I'm sort of mixing up the words, if you hadn't figured that out. So, yeah. Oh, God. They're going to use IEDs in this attack. Isn't that great? I have no idea what an IED is. I'm assuming it's a missile. But it has an E in there, so it could be electronic. What is an IED? Improvised explosive devices. Oh, okay. Dirty bombs. And that's just great. Because if you do a dirty bomb just right, it can be more dangerous and deadlier than a smooth, clean missile strike. Or explosion or a bomb of some kind. Yeah. And so, yeah, Utah's Capitol Police are prepared, but the federal courthouse is not getting prepared, and other federal buildings aren't getting prepared. They're probably all in it anyway. Nobody seems to have caught on to the number of women used in that. In Civil War II, Mormons are more interested in women's temple fashion. You have to know Mormonism to catch it, that's for sure. So, I mean, do Mormons... MD replied, "Good, I expect one. Are you still doing the overnighter stuff? So that you can email me during your breaks?" I'll email or reply here and ask that question also, because you're not going to get this till tomorrow. So, there you go, I replied to her. Oh man, so she's alive still. That's amazing. I get kind of worried when people don't keep up with replies. Like David, where are you, David? Usually you respond after midnight, between 12 and 3 in the morning. I haven't heard from you in a while. Are you still around? The anonymous Mormon's still around, or Latter-day Saint, I guess he goes by. He's the only one I will allow to link to other videos and stuff, because I can trust him. I'd trust MD if she were more involved. But you notice I'm using male and female pronouns as I think of doctors more as MDs, because if you saw the video where all my favorite doctors from TV shows, so yeah, MD female, anonymous male. So I don't see these people, but that's why I use pronouns the way I do. Is there's always an attachment to them, a memory attachment that I assign. So yep, I still have to finish Castle. I've been busy the last little while, and so yeah, it's interesting because Beckett is still acting like a newlywed, or a girl who just got involved in her first crush. It's cute, but the character development is not working for me. I would expect her to be more matured in the relationship by now. Castle, yes, he's matured and changed. Beckett, she's letting her hair down, as I talked about in the other video. But alrighty, let's go to bed. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe I'll put that as the theme song. Let's go to bed. Theme song. Okay. Alrighty. So the title, I think, will probably be "After 200 Years, Mormons Grow Up to Be Tares." They're now talking on the news about Team America versus Team Sedition. I mean, dear God, have we come to this? We got Americans who want to be on the wrong side of history, who just want to murder, who just want to destroy. Because they don't care about Trump. They use Trump to justify what they want to do. I don't think Trump knows this. Poor Trump. He's getting played by Putin and played by his followers. And hated by everyone else. Oh man, he's just the biggest sucker and loser ever. Oh, so hilarious. And if you're wondering how I would know such a thing, I grew up among this rising generation. I know them. I know what they were already plotting and planning as little grade school kids. Listening to Rush Limbaugh, which kind of disturbs me. There was a guy on CNN who says that Rush Limbaugh is a voice to listen to. What? What did you just say? Rush Limbaugh? He was the one who was homophobic and sexist and talking about raping women, and I learn all about it from my peers at school. Unless it was Hannity. That could also be another option, because Hannity was also around on the radio back then too, I guess. They were talking about him. Oh dear God. The horrible things they were coming up with. And now I'm seeing it. And it's going to get worse, guys, because I've heard worse as a kid. If they start using IEDs And if they start going after the populace, God help us. And the Book of Mormon tells us all about it. Yeah, it's in that war part that Mormons don't like. You're not going to like it either. But at least my experience will pull me out of the shock as I will rush in this time. God. The nightmare that's coming, and you guys don't see it.